Hi, this is James from Simulations Unlimited. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go to the trains. We're going back to the Morristown line. I really like that line. We're going to do a scenario, and here we have the scenario teaching train. In this scenario, we're going to have a trainer engineer that's going to allow me to drive the train. And we only have one car hooked to the locomotive, and we're going to go to different stations, but we're not really going to take passengers. Well, let's see, it turns out that Mr. Hill is on the other side of here. Let's go up to him. I'm going to now left click or right click. Let's try again. I'm going to now left click the mouse. Mr. Hill, hey, nice to have you on board. You'll be riding with me today, just down the summit. I'll go and make myself comfy. See you in a minute. I say, nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to getting started. Okay, I will now left click and now let's get on board. Open the door, left click. Now we'll go down, move forward a bit. I'm pressing E. Now let's go in. Let me close the door. We'll remember to do that. Now since we're right here by this panel, let's turn on all of the safety systems. Alert on, ATC, and turn on ACSES. Okay, now let's go engineer seat. Let's go ahead and get started. Now pressing this key, let's make sure we might not have set up callback. Okay, you won't be able to see all of this, but what I'm going to do is press the control key and the escape key. Then I'm going to go and access the TSC window and start callback. Like I say, you may not be able to see that since that was not on full screen. Okay, so now let's go ahead. I'll press this button. Brings us perfectly aligned in view 1. And it says insert reverser handle. Bring this down. Now, if you press this key on the TSC controller, it does that. Next step, cut in brakes. Right here, I'm left clicking the mouse. Independent brake to full application. Let's do that. Automatic brake to release. Right. You can see which handle I'm going to use. Here's the automatic brake handle. I'll pull that to release. Set reverser to forward. Alright, there we go. Apply some power to get moving. Now, remember, our independent brake is on. Now, I want to show you something that we can use. I'm going to give just one notch of power. And now I'm going to the right arrow key. I'm going to press the right arrow key twice. Now, look at, here it says tractive brake effort. if you bring up the throttle, you should see indication here that you actually are getting electrical power. If you do not, then something's wrong. For instance, I'll bring this back to notch 0, and notice the indicator went down. So let's bring it up to notch 1. Notch 1. And if you don't see that going up, then something's wrong. All right, let's release our independent brake. And with this controller set up like this, I can simply turn this counterclockwise. And the independent brake was released. Okay, now we should start to move. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up to power setting notch 3. Now, we'll start speeding given that setting. Let's bring this back down to notch 0. The first thing we want to demonstrate is the alerter. And if we don't do anything at all, if we don't touch any controls, that should cause the alerter to activate. And of course, when it does, normally what you do is press this button to reset the alerter. But we want you to see, we want to go through watching what happens if you do not press that, and the alerter will actually stop the train, and what you have to do to clear that once that happens. So I'm not touching anything, and in just a while we should see the alerter activate. When it does, we want to bring the train brake to a certain location, and that should reset the alerter. All right, hear it now. Normally we press this button, but we're not going to press it now because we want to demonstrate the alerter actually stopping the train. And there we go. The alerter is stopping the train. I'm going to go ahead, make sure my throttle is in the 0 position. Then I'm going to press the reset now and take the automatic brake and bring it up to handle off. I know if I bring it this far, handle off, I've taken it far enough for sure. And now I'm going to go and bring it to release, and then just for good measure I'm going to press the alerter again, and now I should be able to have control of the train again. Now I've brought it to notch 2, and we look over, do we see these right? Yes, and we're starting to move, so yeah, we've got control of the train again. Now once again we're going to start speeding, but I want to illustrate something. Alright, it's starting to move. I guess I'll go to notch 1, and now I'll go to notch 2. I'll put it back to notch 1. Now here's our indication. Here's one indication of the speed limit here, which I guess is about 10 or so. But here's a second indicator. This, I think, indicates more of what the signal speed is. This indicates more of what the physical or track speed is. Now, notice this thing says we have a signal speed, I'm going to notch 0, of 100. Now, something is wrong there. This is a false indicator. We'd always go by the lowest one anyway, so this wouldn't bother us, but something's wrong here. Here, let me show you. I'm pressing the escape key, and notice the speed limit, looking at track speed, we figure it's somewhere 20, 15, something like that here. That sounds reasonable, what's going on. And then eventually getting up into the 60 and 55 and like that. So that initial indicator is just something wrong, but you wouldn't go by it anyway. So, all right, let's go back. Now, if you should exceed the signal speed limit, then you'd have one of the other safety signals other than reverse to kick in, and you'd need to restart based on that. Okay, let's see, how far are we from, we are 2.7 miles. Okay, I've got a track speed now. I can bring this up faster. I'm going to increase. Oh, now notice how this thing, our signal speed now is, probably about 55, our signal speed limit. You exceed that and one of the safety systems will get upset. Well, let's see if we can do it. We've got 2.3 miles. Let's demonstrate if I should exceed that temporarily. Alright, it's upset now. So what I've got to do is bring this. I'm going to go to handle off, get under the speed limit, reset again. Now, do I have control? Alright, let me go handle off again. Alright, reset. Bring it to release. And now, let's go again. Alright, we're going to go handle off. Release. Let's watch this. This is our brake cylinder gauge. Alright, let's make sure it's gotten below 10. Okay, so it went all the way back down to 0. We should have control now. Okay, there we go. That's how you would get reset. And I didn't do it quick enough so that it actually brought the train to a full stop. But that's how you would do it. That's how you would regain control. Now let's take a look at how far I am. I am 9,000 in the 9,000s force feet. When I get to the 3,000s, I want to bring my train down to 30 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour when I get in the range of the 3,000s. Actually, I'm going to make it to 2,000. When I get into 2,000, I'm going to bring my train down to 25, 30 miles per hour. Now, I'm going to do that using the electrical braking system. You see that if you bring your throttle, you can, this is like applying brakes electrically without using the air brake system. Then to enter the station, I'm going to use the air brake system. Now these are non-lapping brakes, so I'll show you a way that we'll use our gauges to hopefully come into a pretty reasonable stopping at the station there. So let's see, I'm still quite a bit of ways in the 6,000s. I could actually add a little bit of speed here. I'm going to wait until I'm in the 2000s to bring it down to 30 or 25, somewhere up in there. Alright, here I need to go to handle off, release. Okay, now speed limit dropped on us, but this time we were able to get back in without coming to a full stop. And in the 3,000s now from the station. That's about as fast as I better go. Now I'm in the 2000s. I'm going to apply some electrical braking and get down to about 30.
The next station stop is, when leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Alright, now I want to bring it back up some because I want to demonstrate. Alright, let's do a full release, handle off, full release. Let's watch the brake cylinder go all the way down. Should be good to go now. But I don't think I can bring it up to 30 quick enough. Let me see if I can get it going fast enough to sort of demonstrate. I got a speed limit of only about 25 or 30. Okay, so let's say we were here and we wanted to bring this to a stop. What we're going to do, this is our equalization cylinders at 110. I'm going to reduce it by 10 pounds. Watch the needle go down as I go into service to about 100. And then I brought it back to whole, but I'll explain something about what just happened then. And notice that doing it like that, it brings it into a nice gradual stop. Now, I actually stopped a little too short there, but what I wanted to demonstrate was we were using our equalization indicator, this white needle here on the left, to just determine how many pounds we wanted to reduce. And typically, about 10, 15, somewhere up in there, with just one car, that, of course, one car stopped real quick, that would allow you to have a pretty nice stop. Here, of course, we're a little bit short. The other thing that happened, when to get the equalization pressure needle, this to change, you had to go to service. Then if I went to lap, let's see if it leaves the indicator at the same place. So you'd know where you stopped your indicator. You know where you stopped your pressure. If you bring it to hold, it will bring the needle back to where it originally was. But the air pressure, the real air pressure, is still the same. So you can see that you still have the same amount of brake pressure in here that you had before. If you bring it to release, of course, here the red indicator is the brake cylinder. That means we now have zero pressure in the brake cylinder. Okay, let's go to the next station. Sure enough, power is coming up. Looks like a street crossing. Alright, what's the speed limit? Oh, about 25, 30 maybe. Now, you can't really quite see it, but there, the blue and the brown indicator, or one is on top of the other, so they're both here, both about 30. Our next station is pretty close. We're in 2000s now, so I'm doing about 23. So I'm going to bring the throttle to 0.
The next station stop is when leaving the train. Please watch the gap.
Alright, now I'm just going to use the air brake. Now notice, if I bring my brake to hold, nothing happens. I bring it to lap, nothing happens. So if you know you're about to stop, you don't have to continue to keep this in release. You can bring it to lap, and therefore you have less to move. Now, here we are. Equalization pressure is 100. I'm going to bring it to, is 110 now. I'm going to bring it to about 100. Now this time I stopped at lap. And notice the needle stayed constant. It stayed in the same place. Well, I guess I need to go a little further. If I were to bring my needle, if I were to bring this to hold, notice the needle goes back to 110. Now the air pressure in the brake cylinder stayed the same. We need to move up a little bit. Now I'm going to reduce my pressure by about 10 points. Lap, I put it in lap, so it still stays there at 100.
Next station stop is Mount Tabor.
Now notice something, let's go to the outside. So even if I open the doors, well, there don't seem to be too many people on this side. And of course we only have one car, see. Oh, that's interesting. There's no passengers on this side. But anyway, if I open doors, you can see the doors open here. Well, I guess it's not opening. I guess we're not on, there's no platform, so maybe it won't let it open. Well, we'll try that demonstration at another station. Alright, let's go back inside and get going. Release. Let's see what happens when we power up. Yeah, there we go. We see power applied, and yes, we sure are moving. Alright, the next station is 3.3 miles away. And speed limit looks like about 50 probably. Yeah, I better stop it there. And it does not look like we're accelerating. Looking at the acceleration meter, I think we're okay. Alright. So all of the safety systems are turned down, and if we should have a safety system violation, generally speaking, you can acknowledge, bring the train brakes into handle off, then release, and I guess you have to make sure you really do have the brake cylinder has gone down to 0. Oops. Oh, we're down. Alright, so here's a demo of it. I need to go to handle off. Now we're below. Uh-oh. We're going to come to a stop. Alright, let's go. Service, handle off. Now let's release. Oh, reset. Got handle off. Alright, now we've got it reset. Release. We should start seeing the brake cylinder go down. Okay. Now, until that brake cylinder releases, you won't be able to get any power. So now we can go ahead and power up. If you do it quick enough, you can do that sequence and not get stopped. But obviously I didn't do it quick enough. But anyway, we're rolling again. Seeing a full demonstration of the safety systems here. Alright, now let's try to stay below that. I don't want to play that game again. I'm going to reduce speed a little bit. Okay, it's going the other way. Yippee. Alright, now, how far are we? 2.2 miles from the other one. So we've got a little time. I really enjoy this route. Okay. Alright, I'm going to stop right there at about 56. Acceleration, it doesn't look like we're accelerating. It looks like we're decelerating. Yeah, that's what we are. Yes, we're alert. Alright, 9 thousandths in the feet away. Now let's see. Uh-oh, I got caught again. Alright, get the back down to 0 with the brake cylinder pressure. And here we go. We're about 7,000 feet away. Alright, now this time when we come into the station, I'm going to try to make a fairly decent stop. Kind of pay attention to how quickly I'm starting to stop with when I apply the air brakes. And if I'm stopping too quickly, you'll see me release the air brakes and then reapply. All the time using the equalization indicator. It gives you a objective sort of indication of how much brake pressure you're applying. Alright, so we've got, looking up here, looks like there shouldn't be any speed limit changes. I shouldn't be caught again. There's one signal, it's green. If the signal is yellow, yeah, things can happen typically. Alright, so oh, alright, nice meet there. 2,000 feet, so I'm going to use electrical. I'm going to use electrical to bring me down to about 30.
The next station stop is, when leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Alright, now I'm coming up. Once again, I'm going to apply. I'm going to lose about 10 pounds of pressure. But this time, if I find myself stopping too soon, I'll release the brakes and start over. Okay, here we come to, Morris Plains. I used to live up in Jersey. Alright, here you can see I'm setting up, I'm at lap, so I can bring it quickly. Alright, now I'm going to release about there. I put back in lap, so I lost 10 pounds of pressure based on equalization. And I'm not going to have to adjust it at all. It's going to come into nice stop. So that's how you can use your equalization valve
This station stop is Morris Plains.
To judge, get an objective reading of how much brake pressure. Let's go to the outside. Oh, I can't see well. Let's see. You can sort of see that door here. Well, I guess you can't really get a good reading on that door. Okay, now I'm going to open the door. I guess it was smart enough. If we were not at an actual platform, it wouldn't open the door. But in any event, this is a training train, so either they will not let passengers on, or the passengers are smart enough not to want to ride a training train with me. Well, let's close the door. Go back inside, and let's go. Let's release the brake. And try to throttle up. Anything yeah, there we go. Alright, next station, Morristown. Now this time, I'm going to pay more attention to my speed limits. The only thing up here is a green signal. So I feel that this speed limit must be about 60, probably good. Let's see, we're 9,000 feet away, or oh, we're in the 8,000. Uh-oh. Get back down there, get back down there. Okay. And once again, when I get into 2,000s, I'll apply electrical braking. And then I'll do it with air braking. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll change it. Air braking both times. So when I get to the 2000s, I'm going to start braking with air. So I'm going to bring it up to lap right now. So I'll just have a little bit to move when I get to the 2000s. Alright, now I'm going to apply, about 8 pounds of pressure. I lap it, and you can see that I reduced pressure about 8 pounds.
The next station stop is, when leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Alright, I got about 30 miles per hour, so I'm going to release now. And as before, when I get right near the station, I'm going to apply a 10-pound reduction in the equalization cylinder. That's what this indicates, equalization cylinder. I'm going to go to lap to get ready to apply, and now 10-pound reduction. Oh, I didn't ring the bell.
This station stop is Morristown.
Okay, well, there's no reason to open the doors because we're not really taking passengers. So I'll release the brake. We see the brake cylinder going to 0. And here we go. I'm going to apply power. I'm going to start off in number 4 throttle this time. The speed limit looks like about 50. Upstairs, clear signals. So 50 now, going up to 60 and then clear signals. Should be safe at 50 for a while, and I could go up to 60 eventually. Oh, wow. Okay. Look for a moment. Something happened there. It looked like the speed limit dropped for a bit. Alright, let's see what we have. 8,000 feet. Oh, it won't be long. I'm going to bring it up to 50 again. And upstairs it looks like nothing should cause the speed limit to go down. And then it goes up to 7. There's green signal coming after that. So this looks like we're okay. Alright, 6,000 for the feet. I'm going to bring it to 0 throttle. We'll be decelerating in just a little bit. beautiful scenery. Quite an enjoyable scenario. Alright, we're in the 4,000s now. Looks like the speed limit should be going up to 70. Okay, it's sort of a little bit trickiness there, but okay. Oh! Alright, we're in the 3,000s. Alright, we're in the 2,000s basically, so I'm bringing it up to lap. And then I'm going to apply, that's enough, about 8 pounds of reduction. Until we get in the 30s. Well, until we get...
The next station stop is, when leaving the train, please watch the gap.
We're coming into Convent, and okay, let's release. And here is Convent coming up now. I guess I should blow the horn once or ring the bell or something. Let them know that we're coming. Though I don't see that many people there. Alright, so here we go. Running at about 20, I'm going to position my train brake to lap so I don't have to move it very far when I get ready to do probably a... I'm only going 20, so probably a 7 or 8 pound equalization reduction would be enough. Oh yeah, there are lots of people here. I didn't notice them at first. Okay, now I'm going to reduce. Alright, that should be enough to do it. Hope it's enough. Please be enough. Yeah, I think I'm fine. Yeah, we're good.
This station stop is Convent Station.
And, alright, here we go. Once again, we're not taking past shifts, so I'm just going to release the brake. Looks like we've got a good speed limit ahead of something like 70. Nothing but green there. Eventually this is going to go to 60. Alright, here we go. Sure enough, tractive effort is coming up, and we're moving. That's a good indication everything's alright. So here we go. And let's see, maybe 70, but I'm going to have 60 coming up. I've got 2 miles to Madison. Tell you what, I'm going to bring this up to about 50, and which should be kind of safe. And then let you see more of the outside of the train. Alright, nothing bad seemed to happen. That's usually risky if you stay outside too long. Okay, 7,000's in the feet, well 6,000's now. What's coming up looks like a green signal and then a 50. So I'm going to go ahead and decelerate to 50. Alright, 45. Oh, okay, good. Speed limit changed. And we're safe in the 4,000s. Alright, speed limit's up, but that doesn't matter to us. We're about to stop. In the 3,000s, 2,000s, okay. I'm going to 10 pounds reduction. Alright, 8 pounds. Let's watch it go down to 30, 25, somewhere in there.
Is, when leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Alright, release, and we're at 28. Madison coming up. Let's take a quick peek outside. Wow. Okay, back inside because we've got to stop this thing. Alright, blow. And the bell will keep ringing. Lap, get ready to hit the stop indicator. And now I'm going to apply about 12 pounds reduction. Maybe more. I actually jacked it up a little bit. Looks like we went...
This station stop is Madison.
Of course, if we want quite position right, doesn't matter. This is a training train. We only have one car, so I guess... How does it look? Let's take a look there. Oh yeah, they had... For one car stop, that's not too bad at all. That's pretty good. Okay, anyway, let's get going. Back to work. Let's release the brakes. Watch the brake cylinder go down to 0. Now we should be able to apply power. And we're going to Chatham. 1.9 miles away. Let's see what we have. Speed limit looks about 70. Green signal. So we shouldn't have too many problems with the speed limit. Okay, here we go. We're on our way to Chatham. No speed limit restrictions, 2 green signals, so we're probably okay. Matter of fact, I'll add another 0.2 to our speed. At least I think I will. Maybe 1 point. Because we're under 5 thousandths. So we'll be stopping fairly soon, going to Chatham. Okay, our speed is 59. We're obviously decelerating. And to change things up, I think I'll slow down electrically to 30 this time. So we'll watch this thing is bringing us down to 30. Between 25 and 30.
The next station stop is, when leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Alright, we're running at 24. Where's the station? Okay. Must be around the bend here. Oh yeah, I think, okay, yeah, there's the station. Alright, I'm going to bring my train brake to lap. Oh, there. And now I'll reduce pressure by about 10 pounds.
This station stop is Chatham.
Okay, Chatham, we're leaving you. Releasing the brakes. Watch the cylinder go to 0 and apply power. Here we go. Alright, the next stop's going to be Summit. That's our final stop in this training mission. our speed limit, maybe about 60, and we have a green signal up in the upper right hand corner. Now I start to get a little cautious when it's the final stop in a scenario, because don't you really feel bad when you mess up and blow it in the very last leg of the trip? So I'm going to be a little overcautious here. Only doing 38, but we're only about 9,000 feet away from the station, so not so bad. Just a little cautious here. Almost have it made. I'll speed up a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to venture outside just for a moment. Just let you see some of the summit scenery. Incredible. Wow. Okay, back inside. Let's see what we have. Looks like a green signal is the only thing showing up. Our speed limit, well under the speed limit. Like to try all I can not to blow the scenario up at the last moment. Alright, we're what? In the 9,000s. Well, now, why is it going up? Alright, now it's going down. Okay, scared me there for a moment. Okay. Alright, here we go. On our way to summit now. Okay, I'm going to stop it there at 40. Once again, being overly cautious. Really enjoy this route. Very nice. Okay, as we bring this to a close, well, let me pick up a little more speed. 40 should be safe. Alright, we're in the 7,000s now. This is going to be our last stop. Trying my best not to mess it up right at the end. And I'll apply a little more power again. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be real careful. So our speed limit now is, I guess, about 30. And you can see we're going to be coming into a yellow and then 15, so we're going to have to go down to 15 eventually. In the 5,000s as far as feet. Real careful here because we're right at the end. And I see I'm going to come into a yellow, and right after that there's 15. So I'm going to be very cautious. When I get to that yellow, I'm going to be down to 15. I just don't want to get any trouble with that stuff. So, okay. How many feet? 4,000s. Okay. Well, we're pretty close to 15 now. We're doing 18. 20. Okay. Now the station is 3,400 feet away. and we're going to eventually have to slow down to 15. I'll go back up to 20, and I'll be real ready to go to 15 very quickly. I'm going to assume that that caution indicator could be saying, hey, get to 15 right away, so I'll be ready. Alright, we're 25, 2,400 feet away, and I'm about to come to the yellow caution marker.
The next station stop is, when leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Okay, we're below 15 now, so we're ready. Bring on the caution signal, bring on the 15 miles per hour speed limit. We're ready. And that must be indicating a real, that signal we just saw, indicating that, hey, you need to, yep, look at that. Dropped it down to 15. Acknowledge. Almost there. Another 1,000 feet, we'll have it. I'll try not to mess it up now. Going to be switched, certainly. Yeah, sure. Oh, there we are. There's our platform. We're doing 13, 12, so it's decelerating. Alright. So 0 on the throttle. I'm going to go to lap position to be ready to, I'm going to do probably a 20-pound reduction on the braking when I do stop it, because look, we have a stop indicator right there, so I don't want to overrun. So I'll probably reduce pressure by 20 pounds now, down to like 90 when I do stop. I'd hate to blow this right at the end. Alright, I'm going to do it now. Going down to 20-pound reduction.
This station stop is Summit.
Okay, we made it. That's the last stop. Summit is a major node along the line. Features 2 high platforms with a station building located above the tracks and a glass crossover above the platforms. Some weekly and etc. services are there. Alright, that's the completion of this scenario. Nice work today. Let's see how you did. And as you see, we didn't pay attention to some of the speed limits, but still, we got some points. Scored up there. 57.89. Got a lot of points for using the safety system. Okay, thanks for going along with me in this scenario of Teaching Train.